I'm now here for my Raymond Muratalla versus Andy Cruz full card predictions and breakdowns. Very interesting card we got here, actually, and a very interesting main event to go through. Let's get on to it then with Israel Madrimov versus Luis David Salazar, however you say his bloody name, Salazar. Israel Madrimov is going to win this fight pretty easily. I think Salazar is pretty tailor-made for him to deal with. I think Madrimov's going to box rings round him. And let's be real, should probably get a stoppage here as well. I think people don't realize the power that Israel Madrimov's actually got in his hands. Obviously, went the distance with Crawford and Ortiz Jr. in his recent fights, and people now forget that he's actually got some power. Destroyed Kurbanov. That was his most recent win that he's had. I think he's going to get a win here pretty simply. Rounds 5 or 6, he's going to want to get rounds in. I hope it doesn't go the distance, because if this fight goes the distance, then I feel like people are going to start forgetting about Madrimov again, and people just won't pay attention to him like they should. So I feel like he needs to get rounds in. I feel like that's very important here, because he's been out, 11 months now, Israel Madrimov. So rounds, are very important here, in my opinion, for Israel Madrimov. That is what has got to happen. He needs to get those rounds in, but he also needs a highlight performance as well. And yeah, I believe he is going to be able to get that. I do. I hope he does. Rounds 5 or 6 for Israel Madrimov, stoppage win. He needs to win. He needs to win in good fashion. I think he can have a really good 2026 if he's managed right, if there's no injuries. If he gets a win here, a Serhii Bolshak fight is there. He can even, I don't know, I'd even go as far as saying he could easily just find himself in a world title fight. Honestly, he's in the picture with just a win here. It could be one more win than the title fight. Or if there's nothing going on, he may even just get shot right into a title fight. But things need to go well here no matter what. Rounds are important. Either way, though, it's like there's no shame in losing to Crawford or Virgil Ortiz. I mean, dare I say, even beat Crawford. Plus, on another day, would probably beat Virgil Ortiz, in my opinion. But we'd have to see. But I think it's a really interesting year for Madrimov, because there are big fights for him. Khalil Ko versus Jesse Hart. Again, interesting fight, but Ko will win because Hart's old. And I think Ko's footwork is going to be too much. Ko's jab's going to be too much. Hart's feet are getting slower every single time we see him. And he's been inactive. He's been out for almost 2 years. That's going to be a factor. And I think the jab and the footwork of Ko are going to play a massive part in the fight. I think Hart's going to be getting his head snapped back the whole time by the jab of Ko. Look at what he was able to do to Gallegos in his recent fight. And it was a much more disciplined performance than it was the first time round for him. So I think this time, I think we're in for a very different kind of style from Ko. I feel like he's really starting to adapt now. I think he's an interesting one, but I think Ko's going to win probably. I reckon he could get a stoppage. I think it's possible. But Hart's never been stopped, though. 3 losses, never been stopped. Hart definitely won't win the fight, but he could give him rounds. He will definitely give him work. But I probably would say stoppage for Ko at this point. it wouldn't even surprise me if Hearts Corner put them out at the end of like the eighth, seventh, eighth round. But we'd have to see. But I think the outcome of this one could be very interesting, and it is unpredictable. But I think, well, the fight isn't the winner's obvious, but I think the outcome of how Ko ends up dealing with him, I think, is an interesting one. But um, I don't trust Hart to win whatsoever. I'm guessing Hart will want to go to the body a lot, but I think Ko's distance control is just improving every single fight, and I think Hart's going to have a real time being able to close the gap down. But yeah, I think Ko's going to stop him. Ko's going to stop him round 7 or 8. Then Amari Jones is obviously going to win this one. I think that's very obvious. He's one of the biggest stars in boxing right now, especially in American boxing. He is. I think he's a very obvious winner. I think I don't think Baxter's got anything to offer him. I mean, he's on box right there rating him pretty highly, and he is unbeaten. So I think, but what I mean, yeah, look, neither guy have really got a resume, of course, but Amari Jones should be stopping this guy pretty simply. I think, I mean, Baxter, 31 years old, 7 wins, 3 knockouts. I think Ko is going to show a completely not Ko. I think Jones is going to show a completely different kind of level here, and I think it'll surprise a lot of people. I think people are expecting Baxter to actually give him rounds, but I don't see any chance of that whatsoever. I reckon this could be done in 2 or 3. I think Jones is going to be able to get his timing right. I think Baxter's just going to be able to walk onto a load of shots, and I think Jones is going to brutally punish him for it. Jones has got speed, he's got power. I think, I think he's going to absolutely destroy him. He should run through him, but yeah, rounds 2 or 3, I think would be fair to say for him. But then we'll have to see. But Raymond Muratalla versus Andy Cruz main event, I think it's a huge world title fight. I think it's a huge fight. I think Muratalla will win. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I think Andy Cruz is going to win the fight. I think Cruz is going to win via decision. I think Muratalla has got questionable defense. I think Andy Cruz is better than him in the pocket. I do. Muratalla has got very quick hands. He is very good offensively, but defensively, I think he is very open for counters. And I think when he fought Tevin Farmer, he was exposed quite a bit when he was coming forward. And I think, look, Muratalla, way more experienced guy than him by far. Like it's not even close experience wise. But I think that from Andy Cruz, ridiculously experienced amateur, he's seen it all there. I think he's a massive future star, and I do rate Muratalla. He's a world champion for a reason. 23 knockouts, sorry, 23 wins, 17 knockouts. But and he again got the experience. He's got the way better resume. He's been in there with all the top guys. Cruz hasn't really been in with anyone of note in the pros. It was in there with Mashiro in his recent one, and won pretty convincingly. But again, he's nowhere near the kind of level of guys that Moratalla's been in there with. Nowhere near. But I think I trust Cruz to win. I think, again, I always say that we haven't seen him in against the best guys. We haven't seen him be tested defensively. We always say that, and it always turns out to be okay. And I don't see why it won't be with Andy Cruz. He's one of the biggest up and coming stars right now. I think overall, people would say at times he can be boring. I've seen so many things of that, but I don't think he is at all. I think he stands his ground very well in the center. I think he's going to be able to outscore Muratalla in the pocket pretty easily. And I think Muratalla is very open for counters. I think he is. Look at the amount Tevin Farmer was able to counter him when they fought. And he was getting the better of him a lot. He really was. Even Abdullah was getting some nice counters, right? And I think Andy Cruz is way quicker and way smarter than both of them. Even though, yeah, he probably hasn't proved it in the pro ranks yet. No chance he has, but I think Cruz is going to be able to outbox him here. I think he's going to be able to outbox him in the pocket. I think Moratala is going to look to come forward, and I think he'll know he's not going to be able to outbox Andy Cruz. I think he might want to approach the fight the way similar how he did to the Tevin Farmer fight, where he's always on that front foot and not back him. I feel like it's going to be a very different performance from him from what we saw when he fought Abdullah in his recent one. It's going to be very different, but these Cuban guys are just, you can't really outbox them. You can't outbox them. And I think Cruz is good everywhere. I feel like he's very, very, very well rounded. He probably will be able to get the better of Moratala at range quite a bit in this fight as well. But I feel like in the pocket, I think, in my opinion, I think that's where Andy Cruz is actually going to want it this fight. And I actually think mid range in the pocket is where this fight will be won. Moratala can't win, and it was a difficult one to. I feel like it's a difficult one to pick when there'd be many mixed opinions on it. Many people will want to favour the experience of Moratala. Again, Cruz has only had 6 fights as a pro, but I think all the amateur experience makes up for him. It's very clear he's already at this level, so I think he should get the job done. But very interesting fight.